Do you want to win a set of Strix and irons? In this set of videos I filmed with Jamie out in Phoenix, he's going to talk about his wedge stamping at one point in one of these videos. So on the back of his wedge, I point out what his stamping is on his club. If you can guess what that means in the comments down below, you've got a chance of winning a set of Strix and irons. So have a guess. If you know it, post it down below. If you don't, the funniest answer will win. So make sure you're subscribed to this channel for your chance of winning. And get your thinking caps on. And I'll work on these irons, see if I can get one in the green. Right, let's get to Phoenix and let's have some fun with Jamie. Right, here with Jamie again. Nice to see you, Jamie.
Hey, pleasure.
Always a pleasure to watch you swing at ridiculous speeds, but we're actually going to talk about your wedge control.
Yeah.
You've got a little system that you're going to share with us with your wedges, haven't you?
Yeah, so obviously having the ability to create a lot of speed also creates a lot of spin. So something that I've gotten really good at, or a lot better at, and something that I work at every day is, you know, with the 4 wedges, I have 3 different shots, and you know, it's a great time to have TrackMan, more so just for speed numbers on club head and ball. Yeah. So with the 60 degree, what I try and do is the 3 shots I have, obviously, you know, it's funny because when I practice, you know, you come out here and you hit full shots, full shots, full shots. When you get on the golf course, very seldom do I ever hit a full shot. So one thing that I've done with my wedges is at 50 miles an hour, it's going to create a different shot than 75 miles an hour versus 100 miles an hour. So when I go through my wedge system, it's going to bring different spin numbers, different ball flights, and just, you know, give me a variety of shots with, you know, in 4 wedges, I'm going to hit, you know, 3 different shots with each of those clubs.
That's giving you a lot of variation on the course to get around. And I think this is a great message. You know, lots of people watching, and certainly a thing I've noticed teaching through the years, amateurs have one shot with their wedge. Like they hit their wedge that distance. Yeah. So let's go. What club's this?
So this is a 60 degree.
Okay.
And how I start this off just about every day that I practice. So I'll go with a 60 degree. And for the first couple, I'm just trying to hit club head speed of 50 miles an hour. Perfect. So.
And do you feel if you're hitting that speed or not? Like if I cover that up, you'll go that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, if there was a blanket over that, I could tell you that was too much speed. So when I get in a good rhythm.
Yeah, so the last one, just to show them, was 55 miles an hour, basically.
So a little much. That's got to be pretty close to where I'd like it.
There you go. Yes, that kind of feel for anybody is just money right there. The skill of that is such a skill in itself, where we could go down this other end of this range and everyone will be working on their takeaway, their
whatever
wrist hinge and all the rest, and there are things that still need working on. Being able to do that when we go out and play later is a skill that I know will get you. There's a tuck pin over water, there's a chance you're going to knock it.
You know your numbers. So yeah, and one thing for me, everyone's different. You know, for me, I need to match the body and the arms up. And this is a great drill for me because obviously we all have our tendencies. My tendency is coming from my background. You know, I like to get the arms away from the body and, you know, big high finish, where I'm just trying to hit a little 50 mile an hour shot. So to me, I'm just going to marry the arms and the body up a little bit. And that should be just a little less than 50 miles an hour. So a little more, so yeah,
51, which again is, you know, if you're saying that's a little less, you're 2 or 3 mile hours away. That's going to give you a tolerance on a golf course to hit the ball within a certain distance.
And I give myself like a 2.5 to 3 mile an hour grace period, because a lot of it is strike 2. The one that I hit 50 was a perfect strike. That's a little bit wipey, and when I get a little bit wipey, the club head's a little bit more, club head speed's a little bit more, but I just know that the strike, it's got a little cut spin to it, a little more than I'd like.
So if we look at those, just so you're going 51 mile an hour club head speed, you're generating 5,000 revs of spin to carry it around 44 yards.
Yeah, so what's neat is the club head speed and the ball speed will be very similar with this shot.
Yeah.
So I know that if I produce that shot, I know in my mind, depending on elements, how far that ball is going to travel just by the 2 speeds alone.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's step up to your next speed, which is, what speed are we going to try and hit next?
So this will be 75 miles an hour.
Okay, he did just say 75 miles an hour, everybody. And he said it as flippantly as some of you might be swinging a 7-iron at that speed. So look at that, there we go, great jump, 74.6. So depending on your accuracy levels, you could round that up to 75. And then obviously you've got ball speeds of 75, you've got a spin has now jumped up to 8.4. So spin numbers jumped up.
Spin numbers
so
are going to go
react
up
differently on the green.
Exactly. So if that's a back pin, this is, or you know, I judge it off the 50 miles an hour kind of to a front pin, depending on the shot. From this distance to where I'm trying to make it go is to a front pin. This 75 mile an hour shot is going to come in middle pin, and then obviously I do it with different clubs as I go back.
Yeah. And that's gone 89 yards.
All right, one more. So again, pretty close, very solid.
Yeah,
so a little bit less. The strike was better.
69.8, full speed 70, going 80, spinning at 7.7. So in your mind, to jump the speed like that, what are the triggers? More? Is it a bigger swing, a smaller swing? You're just pulling faster with your arms?
I play with my feel.
Okay.
I'm not a guy that's got a clock system. I've never been that way. I've always been a feel player. So everyone's different. You know, a more mechanical player will take it back a little further, and if that's their 9 o'clock position or whatever that position is, then that's their trigger. But for me, I've always been a feel player, so I just base it off pure feel.
So you wouldn't know if that is a longer swing or not?
Nope.
You don't need to, as long as you're
pure
in
feel.
The number.
Yeah.
Like that. 71 mile an hour, or say a club speed 71.4. Again, that one spun a little lower, so I imagine you hit that a bit higher on the face.
Yep.
And then
Grooves
82.
are filling up. I mean, usually when I do this, I'll clean them after every shot.
Yeah.
And that way, I know that I'm not, you know, the outside elements and everything is not being controlled. I'm in control of what I'm doing.
Absolutely.
All right, so then if we jump up one more, and this is going to be a full 60 degree, which in all honesty, the only time I really hit a full shot is to a tucked pin downwind.
It's an emergency shot, isn't it?
It really is. I very rarely will I ever hit a full 60 degree.
Yeah.
I almost call it, you know, it's almost a trick shot where, you know, tuck pin, got to have a lot of spin. I mean, this ball is going to come in from the moon. It's going to have a lot of spin.
Yeah. So what speed are we jumping to?
So I call it the 100 mile an hour shot, which is just a full shot. Whether it could be 92 miles an hour, but it's a full shot. So, you know, it'll probably be around 96.
So just to confirm, what loft are we on here still? This is a 60 degree wedge. And he's going to try and get it 100 mile an hour. And to be honest, if we stood here with Jamie, like that looks like a game of like that. We'll do one at the end where I try and swing a wedge at a speed, and you'll see a difference in the way I would have to go at that to get that nowhere near the speed you're going at.
So it still feels very smooth.
So 95.6, so not quite fast enough, but that is 95 miles an hour with a wedge carrying a 60 degree wedge carrying 117. Slight waft strike, wasn't it? Wasn't your best?
Yeah, it wasn't
strike.
the best. We got a left to right wind, which I really, if it's a left to right wind at the golf course I practice, I'll go on the other side.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse to me than a left to right wind. I think it is for a lot of players.
Absolutely.
But I try and fade the ball, and this doesn't help. So, but if I were to just kind of hold one up against that wind,
yeah, that was
it's going to hold in there a lot
much better strike. So again, 95 seems to be that number, doesn't it? Again, you're 95 there.
The 60 will never be 100 miles an hour unless, I mean, I can get it that way, but it's not a golf shot that's going to be.
And look at the spin rate. It's going into 1300s, isn't it? That's
it's got a lot
1,300
of
stuff.
Yep.
Ball speed 105 and then carrying 115.
Again, a downwind shot that you need, you know, to a firm green. You need a lot of spin. So then we go into the 56.
Yeah.
And it's the same deal. I'm going to hit the same speeds. It's going to have a lower flight and travel just a little bit further, but again, just another different way to attack the pin.
Yeah. So again, basically, you could do this with any loft, really.
You can do it with any golf
club. If you do this with a 6-iron, it's the chip under the tree.
Exactly.
It's the like medium height under some bush, under some limbs that gets you 150, and then it's the 170 to the green.
Yeah.
The principle is the same. So again, a little faster, obviously stepping through a slightly different lofted club, but 55. Carrying 58, 6,000 spin. So you're going to see the same kind of jumps and spins as you go through the...
It's always very consistent.
Yeah. Excellent. Like that, Jamie. Brilliant. Definitely something so people should definitely be thinking much more of when they're spending their time on the ranges, because just standing there trying to smash it.
I mean, that's good.
One shot is needed sometimes, but when you get on the course, it's not always going to be there.
You're always at whether...
Just to finish this, to put it in perspective, I'm just going to hit that 60 for them.
Okay. Am I the cameraman?
Showing my 100 mile an hour.
All right.
Oh, 60 degrees, 100 mile an hour. Is that what you want, sir?
Yes, sir.
That's me hitting a firm 60.
75 miles per hour.
So I'm not getting over 85.
Okay.
But the principle is the same if you think about it. Anyone watching it is thinking, well, I'm never going to go 50, 70 with... I would just start at different speeds to find my numbers. It's the point is the 3 numbers. The point isn't me trying to do that with this club to compete with the speed.
Exactly, 78. So I would say your max
I'm peaking at 80.
Your max is going to be 80. So from there, I'd go down to, you know...
It could be 30, 60 to 80.
Exactly. Everyone's numbers are different. As long as there's, you know, rhyme or reason to those numbers and the spin numbers and the lofts and the lies and everything.
Dial them into that database so you know your distances, you're going to target.
Exactly.
Thanks, Jamie.
You got
good
it.
Stuff as always.
My pleasure.
Slightly obscene distances, but good stuff.